They called it Linden, a Davian-aligned world, but Ripper never gave a damn about the name. He didn't know the planet's flag, didn't care who owned it. All he knew was that the nights were cold, the gangs ran everything, and life came cheap. He wasn't born with a name, at least not when he remembered. He earned Ripper in a knife fight behind a busted cargo yard when he was 13. The other guy brought a pipe. Ripper brought a blade. Only one walked away. By 17, he'd been shot twice, overdosed once, and killed 3 men. When the crackdown came, it wasn't glory that got him caught, it was luck. Wrong street, wrong night. He was trying to jack a food shipment with a bunch of wannabe pirates when the Linden Constabulary kicked in the doors. Half the gang got blown apart, the other half arrested. At sentencing, the judge didn't even look up.
Hard labor for life,
she said.
or conscription. Your choice.
Ripper smirked.
What's the difference?
He joined the AFFC 2 weeks later, got shoved in with the worst of the conscript units. But he didn't care. He didn't need friends. He needed a cockpit and a trigger.
At least with the Army, I get to kill people scot-free.
Ripper's early AFFC career was a textbook example of problem soldier. He skipped briefings, picked fights with anyone who looked at him wrong, drank too much, smoked anything that burned. He was demoted twice before qualifying in a simulator. But when the cockpit sealed and the heat gauges lit up, he was dangerous in the right way. Unrefined, aggressive, effective. He tore through his first live fire exercise with a half-broken blackjack, flanking the entire mock enemy force on instinct alone. He didn't wait for orders. He just moved. He spent more time in the brig than on the training fields, usually for brawling, insubordination, or sneaking out after curfew. The stories varied. Sometimes he'd be caught with contraband liquor hidden in a coolant locker. Sometimes it was a broken nose on a superior officer. And sometimes it was 2 women from opposing units leaving his bunk at the same time. He was a disaster in uniform, but a useful one. His COs couldn't figure out whether to court-martial him or keep putting him at the front of the formation. 1 week he was confined to quarters. The next he was leading a fire team through simulated urban hellscapes and nailing every maneuver like he'd been born for it. Ripper had finally worn out his welcome. By the time his company was deployed to Kessel Run 4, he'd already been written up a dozen times. Assault, insubordination, fraternization, even field modification without authorization. No one questioned his battlefield skill, but no one wanted to be near him. His lance commander had had enough. During a running battle in the refinery fields, deep in the haze and static of ECM interference, Ripper's comms started cutting out. He radioed for his team. No response. Radar pings. Gone. IFF signals. Vanished. He was alone. It didn't take long to figure it out. He'd been set up. A lone hunchback dumped in the middle of an active combat zone. No evac, no backup, no chance. A full Kurita Lance was moving in, and all he had was a hot reactor and 2 tons of ammo. For once, he didn't rage. He just sighed, muttered something about going out with style, and spun up his autocannon.
All right then,
He growled.
let's make it hurt.
He got one of them, took its leg off in a street fight that cracked half his armor. He disabled another, caught it out with short-range fire that lit his own cockpit in warning lights. But the other 2 were circling, and his ammo bins were nearly dry. His hunchback was about to shut down when the comms cracked back to life.
Unknown friendly hunchback. Hold your ground. Helps inbound.
It wasn't AFFC. It was a mercenary call sign. Hell's Anvil, Ironside Legion. And then came the thunder. A battered thunderbolt broke through the smoke, firing with zero hesitation. Behind it, 2 more mechs in irregular paint schemes slammed into the Kurita rear, guns blazing. The fight flipped. Ripper didn't understand it. He didn't even trust it. But in the chaos, a voice came through his headset. Calm, steady.
You with us or not?
Who the hell are you?
Ripper snapped.
War Dog. Doesn't matter who we are. Question is, do you want to live?
After the fight, Ripper stood on scorched concrete beside the Thunderbolt's towering form, his hunchback leaking coolant and covered in smoke. He waited for judgment, for some insult, for the mercs to walk away. Instead, War Dog climbed down, looked him over, and said,
You fight like you're already dead. You want a place where that matters?
Ripper didn't hesitate.
Yeah, I'm sick of cowards.
That was the day he joined Hell's Anvil. Not because he wanted to belong, but because for the first time in his life, someone came back for him, and he never forgot it.
but stands for pride, and never left the man who tried.